And welcome back, everyone, on the Network TV channel for a French stream. So, bonjour, bonjour, with Maxime, CEO of Noodles. Bro, welcome home.
Yeah, GM. Well,
GM, sir.
I really like the music and yeah, the 1 minute start of the video. I think the energy is great. So yeah, very happy to be here.
Thank you so much. And thank you so much for accepting the invitation for today's streams. We didn't know each other, right, before that. But, bro, I tested Abstract a couple of weeks ago. Try noodle, bought some noodles, then did a stream with Pengzu. And then I saw you in like the group chat that we have with like the Pudgy. And then
Yeah,
that's it. We're here.
perfect.
How are you doing? How's your day going, man? As a CEO of a
Yeah.
new trending app on Abstract?
Well, as you can imagine, a lot of works.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm working with one of my co-founder and CTO. So we spend like I don't know from 9 a.m. to 11 p.m. every day,
Yeah.
7/7. So, but yeah, basically having fun. So many things on Abstract. We think that that we're doing a great job when it comes to the product side of things. So yeah, trying to change how marketing works and yeah.
Yeah, that's okay. Yeah, honestly, what you are doing is like really interesting because yeah, there is like some people tried before you, right? And they're like, it's a challenge to crack for real, and we're gonna talk about that. That's why I wanted to have you. But yeah, can you introduce you to the audience and for everyone who look watching the live stream and even like the video later on? Can you introduce yourself, please?
Yeah, sure. Well, so I started a few years ago in crypto. Before that, I
Okay.
was in the real estate business with my family, and then well, I wanted to go in crypto. I started working at Swissborg, which is a crypto
Nice.
wealth management app based in Switzerland.
Okay.
Worked there as an analyst, and then we decided to work on consumer crypto. Because if you look at crypto today, crypto has like two product market fit.
Mhm.
First one is payment, the second one is speculation. And the thing is, with those 4 years halving cycles, um, you have other cycles within this cycle that are between infrastructure and consumer. With the first one on the consumer side being DeFi, with the DeFi summer in 2020. And the thing is, then we saw with this DeFi summer the limitation of the blockchain on the technical aspect. And so for the past 2-3 years, everybody was working on the infra side. And so when we started 2 years ago, we were like, okay, everybody is investing in infra. Everybody is pushing with new layer one, layer two, wallets, provider, all those things. And we were like, that's great. But now the issue will be on the consumer side. And 2 years later, well, here with Abstract, and we've been a bunch of products from mobile apps to other monetization related apps. And this led us to build Noodles.fun.
Then okay, yeah, that's if you want to go consumer like Abstract makes sense, that's for sure because that's definitely the bet of Luca, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, so we speak a lot with Luca, and the thing is, so before that, we were also part of the Pudgy Penguins family,
Yes.
which is one of the best. Like a very good friend of us. I don't know if you know Kevin from One Shift Happens. If you don't know
Yes,
him,
yes, yes, yes.
he is one of the best podcasts I've seen on the timeline. And so this guy, that's thanks to these guys, we've been into Pudgy Penguins.
Nice.
Then I met Fifi in Paris, amazing guy doing a lot for the community. And then we discovered Abstract in September 2024. And then we're like, okay, well, we need to build something with them. And so that's where Noodles started.
Damn, okay, so it's not even like a longer time since like you even work on noodles. Damn, like good job on the execution because that's quite fast. That's cool.
Yeah, I mean, we started. So, like I was saying, we started to build consumer apps, consumer products for the past 2 years. But on the Noodles product, we started working on this in November. In DevCon in Thailand,
Okay.
and then we brought Noodles to life end of February. So yeah.
Damn, okay. Okay. So what's noodle? What's noodles? What can I do with some noodles?
So Noodles is a socialify app on Abstract. The idea is that we enable anyone to speculate on anyone with an X account. So this is for the speculation part. So that's very interesting when it comes to content creators. So you can buy and speculate on any content creators. But the thing is not only the speculation part, because as you can see on the bottom right of your screen, well, we have this collaboration section. And this is where we're trying to automate all the process of marketing agency. Basically, you can ask to collaborate with this content creator without any intermediaries, and all of this going on chains, meaning that you can ask to your favorite content creator a post on Twitter, a reply, and you can pay him for that. And if he accepts, well, you will get a post on Twitter or something on Twitter. And with the money that the guy is making, well, a part will be invested in his own bonding curve, which means that if he wins, the community and the holders of his token will win too.
Okay. So a few weeks ago, I bought some. Yeah, see, I have 600 noodles from Luca because, yeah, why not Luca? What can I do with, because yeah, I kind of like bought it before doing my research, and I also while you're here. So what can I do with Luca right now?
So with Luca, you can, so as you own some noodles, so some shares from Luca,
Yeah.
now what you can do is, do you see the at the bottom right, the collaborate with Luca
Mhm.
here? Having a share of Luca enable you two things. The first one is you are exposed to the growth of Luca, and if he's making a lot of money, well, you will benefit from holding his shares. And the second one is that you can directly ask some collab to Luca. So in this case, you will have to pay some Ethereum. So here it's minimum one Ethereum.
Yes.
Um, so if you scroll down, so this is to buy, but if you scroll down again,
Okay.
yeah, here you can ask a post or a reply, and you can, so Lucas set the a minimum price per collab to one Ethereum, but here for one Ethereum you can ask whatever you want him to post on Twitter or to reply to. Then he's free, of course, to accept or refuse it. Of course,
Okay.
if he refuses, he will get refunded. But if he accepts, well, you will get paid and you will get your content.
Okay, that's smart. I like it, bro. Okay, so the noodles is about me getting exposure to Luca's noodles price action,
Yeah.
but so I don't use those noodles to pay him to post or whatever. But if I want to use him as a brand, like a tweet ambassador, like KOLs, whatever, then I paid one ETH on abstract, and then that, that's cool.
Yeah, but you need to own at least a few noodles of Luca to be able to collaborate with him. That's a requirement because there is, and that's an issue that many content creators have on Twitter. Maybe you will get some DM for some people to ask you some content, but you don't know if one those people, if you can trust them. You don't know if they will pay you, and that's very difficult. So that's why now the first thing, if you want to work with Luca, well, first you need to own some shares from Luca. This shows that okay, you're here for real, and then you can do some collab proposal, and he's free to accept or refuse those, of course.
Mm.
But at least if you accept, it will be paid, because the way it works is that if you do a collab, you will take those one Ethereum in this case,
Yeah.
and this will go in what we call an escrow account, which is
Yes.
basically an account in between you and, in this case, Luca. And the money will stay in this escrow
Yes.
account until Luca has done the post, and not only done but verified by you.
Yes.
Meaning the flow is the following: you will pay, so you will buy a noodles from Luca, then this unlocks the collapse part, then you can pay a post, then Luca can review it, accept or refuse. Let's say he accepts, he do the post, he share the link of the post on the platform, then you review it. If you accept it and say, hey, that's a good post, perfect. If not, well, then in this case we have a dispute
Nice.
mechanism to solve this, and then everybody is paid, and we ensure the content creator is paid and you get your content.
That makes sense.
And yeah.
That's awesome. Okay, it's even better than I thought because that's cool. Good job. Do you have like any KPIs about engagement and stuff like that for all of those KOLs?
Yeah. So on the app, not yet.
Okay.
We're discussing with some of the best app in the ecosystem when it comes to KPIs and content creators.
Hmm.
We will add those. And to be honest, today we are testing a few things, because the thing is we're looking at the demand in a B2B side. And in this case, depending of how the demand reacts, we will add more and more KPIs, because that's very interesting and very important too. But at the end of the day, the goal is how can we automate all the marketing agency process, and in this way, we'll meet those KPIs.
Yeah, so you are a decentralized talent agency, basically.
Yeah, kind of. I
Okay.
like I like I like to say automated marketing
Yeah.
agency.
Okay, that's cool. Yeah. Okay. So yeah, the man in the middle is not required anymore because of the thanks to smart
Yeah,
contract
and we can decrease. Usually, the
liability.
marketing agency
Mm.
take a 30% cut on
Yeah.
those collabs. Here it's like we take 5%, and the 5% a part. I mean, the 5% are not for us entirely. A part would be in the bonding curve, etc., etc. So
Mm.
that's very
Okay.
interesting.
And what's the volume of transaction do you have right now?
We had a bit more than 500,000.
Damn. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Even like considering like the abstract ecosystem volume and stuff, right? Like
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean, for abstract, it's
nice.
quite good, because in abstract we have a lot of games, a lot of gambling, and we are one of the only app doing something a bit different, and that's very interesting to test. And I think that's interesting because with abstract, it's really, if you talk to consumer, you need content creators, and they have the stream, etc. And so we have a bunch of things to work with them on this, and just make a lot of sense.
And what do I need to do to be a creators on Noodles?
Well, the good part is that the protocol is totally permissionless, meaning that if you look here, and we're the first to do that, by the way. So if you look at that, all the content creator are people with X account. So the only requirement for you to be a content creator is to have an X account.
Mm.
So in this case, if you enter in the search bar your handle, your Twitter handle, you will find your own account. If your handle is good, it will work.
I think I did that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can even start your own bonding curve. And then, so the thing is that
Uh,
anyone can start the bonding curve of anyone. The idea is not, so the bonding curve is more an index linked to the content creator. So
yes.
it's not necessarily the same idea as Friendtech or Time.fun, where basically the content creators own some shares and etc.
Mm.
Or you can own, and we encourage content creator to buy your own shares. But the thing is, we see it as an index to see, to
Yeah.
compare yourself with other content creators, and also for your community to have a way to be exposed to your growth, basically. So yeah. And so what you can do then is if you go on the kitchen and the portfolio page, if you go on the portfolio page, for example.
Yeah. Yeah. I don't have enough ETH. I need to bridge again. So I can't create a connection. No,
No,
but
no,
no.
it's good.
We should
So
do that after the stream. I can do like the stuff, and then we can redistribute the stream after and say, "Oh yeah, I'm a Noodles creator.
yeah.
So buy my shares."
So if you can see on the portfolio, you can see all the position that you have. And on
Yes.
the kitchen, so here you have one position, you can see a bunch of metrics. And then on the kitchen, what's very interesting is that if you want to be a creator, the only requirement is to prove that your account is yours. So you
Mm.
need to connect your Twitter account. And at this moment, well, you will be able to set a minimum collab price. So by default, I think it's like maybe 5 or 10 euros to do a collab proposal. But then once connected, you can say, hey, my minimum collab is 1 Ethereum, like Luca, for example. Or it can be even something else.
What's the okay? So I'm gonna do it for the network TV stuff. No, I don't have enough ETH.
But you will see it has unlocked a few things in the app. If you yeah, for
Okay,
example, so
nice,
here
nice, nice,
it
nice.
has unlocked the collab price and a few things. And you can also say, hey, on the money I'm making, I want to inject from 5% to 100% to my own bonding curve. This way you can even
Nice.
say, okay, I want to give back 100% to my community, I want to give back 10%, and the rest is for me, for my living, or whatever.
Okay, that makes sense. Okay, okay, that's really good execution. I'm hyped. Okay, I'm hyped. I love it. Um, okay, so I do my bonding curve. I set up the price of my shares. If people want to collaborate with me, they can directly contact me. That's awesome. And do do they have like rev share on like the volume of transaction I do?
So it's not
That's what
like
you said, right?
royalties.
Yes.
So if they own shares, they will not get royalties from the shares. However, the thing is, we have a burn mechanism, meaning that if you make some money and you say, okay, 10% goes to my community,
Mm.
this will be injected in your burning curve. So
On the
it will
bond,
not
yes.
be as a royalties, but
Yes.
it will be,
Return.
as an increase of the value of the share.
What's the tokenomics of the noodles per creators? Is that like unlimitable? Is that uh,
So
limited supply?
it's not limited, it's unlimited. So it's a burning curve. So the thing is, the so theoretically it's unlimited. The only limit is the number of Ethereum on Abstract. But the thing is, the more people invest in a burning curve, and the more expensive it becomes. So that is just
Oh,
by a simple offer and demand, we can solve this.
okay. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Okay, okay. So the more like even if like my bonding curve is like 10 ETH, people can still buy it and
Yeah,
it's like great all
you can buy very tiny shares from a few cents to
okay. Nice portfolio reward system. And I saw yeah, point for airdrop.
points. Yeah, points.
Points, okay. Abstract reward, nice. Okay, player using abstract global wallet and XP. Okay, so the more you use Noodle, the more you get XP on abstract dashboard.
Yes. So usually, Abstract, what they try to do is they try to incentivize
Yes.
like true usage of the ecosystem.
Mm,
And so yeah, this goes for any apps where you go, and if you use Abstract Global Wallet, you use Abstract, and so in this case, you get points. Yeah.
nice, nice, nice. Yeah, that makes sense. Honestly, like this gamification on an abstract, like it makes sense. And like after my stream on abstract and discovering it and everything, like I came back the day after just to collect the badges. Like I
Yeah.
don't spend hours on abstract portal, but I come back at least once a week, twice a week, three times a week, whatever, like 5 minutes per day, just to collect a badge for because it's an NFT and stuff. So
Yeah.
like the workflow of acquisition and activation is insane.
So I think it's very good because so the thing, when you build a platform that goes for like blockchain, that's true also for us, that's true for any apps I've seen in the Web3 ecosystem. The thing is, how do you attract people? You want to incentivize them to come because you have to fight for attention. But on the other hand, if you do that too, let's say, if you do that too much, you can just get so many farmers.
Yeah.
So the difficult thing here is, how can you find a balance between incentivize people to come with like some simple reward mechanism and
Yep.
instant feedback, etc., but still not having like a false activity. And I think that Abstract is doing that well, and that's why if you compare with many chains, many people were like, well, Abstract is doing very bad if you compare to Blast. And if you look at, for example, the TVL metrics, that's true.
Mm.
But you have some answers that are basically, well, we're not here to do a pump and dump, we're here on the long term, and you want to start with a niche, start. And what the most important metrics is that you see that every week, every month, the KPI are increasing, and those people, most of them are not here to farm, and that's where the value is. And also, well, you cannot really compare the TVL with Abstract and other chains because they do not focus on DeFi.
Yeah.
They focus on consumer, which is also probably the only chain doing that. So yeah.
No, 1%. And by the way, we are also live on Abstract because I need
Yeah.
some XP, right? So GM Pengzu and GM 0xDC, you should change your handle so I can shout out to you during stream. But yeah, Pengzu, GM. And like, yeah, bro, it makes sense. Makes sense. I'm gonna go back here, reward system. Okay. I wanted to mention something. Fuck. Yeah, like even so you said like 5% on the business model, right?
So we take fees I mean, two times. The first one is on the trading activity. On
Mm-hmm.
the trading activity, so when you invest in a KOL, we have 5% fees. On those 5% fees, 2% goes to the KOL being traded,
Into the
2% goes to the protocol, and 1% goes to a referral if one. And on the other hand, on the collaboration part, Here on the 5% we take 3%, and at least minimum 2% goes into the own bonding curve as a buyback mechanism.
Okay. And okay, it's even better than uh, all of the other iteration of social fight because you don't reward impression and engagement and stuff, right? Which can be faked.
Yeah.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I mean, for us, it was a huge topic. Like, should we reward like a number of views or followers or stuff
Yeah.
like this that indeed could be farm. But on the other end, that's very interesting. That's an interesting takes. We decided to do fully based on demand and just based on demand.
Yeah.
And also the thing is, if we provide, so that in step two is to provide data regarding KOLs, but it's just like providing data. It's not like linked with the price.
Mm.
It's the same with stocks. If you look at stocks and public markets with Web2 side like Apple, Microsoft, all those companies, they will have like quarterly reports, but those reports are not linked to the price of the stock. But however, the financial analysts will look at those reports and say, oh, we think the stocks is overpriced or underpriced,
Yes.
etc., etc. So that's the same idea for us.
I think that personally, like I would say it's a good approach because like if the KOL has good engagement, good impression, then it will bring more people to pay for their services. And then the price of the noodle
Yeah.
shares will increase. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
exactly. And for us, you just explained the flywheel, meaning that
Yeah,
you come as a content creator, you do some collabs, you do some collabs, you make money. This money, a part of it is reinjected
yeah,
in the shares of the KOL. Then, as it's a benefit for his community, more community will come, and so his
yes.
community will increase. As the community increase, then he can do more collabs, etc. And then we have this flywheel where theory, well, I mean, in theory, that's very good.
No, 1%. I mean, I think it needs to reach some like velocity numbers to see that all of this leverage
Yeah,
coming into play. But
yeah,
I
yeah.
think that's the right approach because I don't know if you are you a Solana user?
Yeah, I mean, if you're in consumer, you don't have many ecosystem. Or in consumer, you have like basically Solana, Abstract, and a bit of Base. But
Yeah,
many companies from consumer Base goes into Solana,
yeah.
and only Time.fun are very good example of those. But yeah,
100%. But like, I don't know if you know about like the Blocksmith Raven app, which was like so Blocksmith was like the big whitelist management when NFT were a thing and stuff.
okay, yeah,
And they launched a product to it was engaged to earn, and it was like 100% botted, and they had like nobody was using the service after a few weeks because you were promoting a tweet and then you allocate like 500 XYZ token to it and then you get fully botted and people get like so I think that's where your approach is way smarter and way better. It's that the incentive are aligned and like if people are not happy because of fake engagement then it doesn't work, then nobody is winning, so
yeah, yeah, yeah.
there is no reason
I
to.
mean, for us, that's we saw so many companies doing those kind of quest system because at the end of the
Yeah,
day, we're just talking about quest.
yeah,
And the thing is, majority of those quests are like botted. And the thing is, for us, the real value is that you can choose the KOL regarding the value
yeah.
that you are according them. So that's a real difference. You can choose look at it, but you will have to pay the price though. But you can choose that. So that's a big difference.
What do you think should be my price? Like
Oh
half
wow,
if?
that's that's very difficult to say, and and I'm not the best investor, so probably the best way to is to ask your community. I mean, it's a public market, so
Yeah, the price will be based by on the market demand, that's for sure. But yeah, no, I'm definitely gonna create my account, set up everything. I need my personal abstract account anyway. Yeah, I'm gonna farm those points. But no, honestly, that's impressive. Congratulations on the execution. It's awesome, and yeah, that's why I do those streams because I do like the public on research publicly, and then it click, and that's why it's happened. I love it.
yeah.
Okay. Is there anything that I need to be aware on the app? but I think it's pretty straightforward, right?
Yeah,
Because
so the thing is, if you look at the featured content creators, so for now, you can find anyone, but we have on the homepage we show the featured creators, which usually are content creators already onboarded, where you can ask collabs, at least for the majority of them, or for those that it's not possible yet, it will be very soon.
okay.
And then we have done a list with only abstract creators below, and so yeah, so that's what we did, and now we need to focus on more on building some pages to increase the discoverability around content creators.
Mm. And
Yeah.
um, can you have because okay, so if I have like a Solana creators, they will have to bridge to Noodles or like send their community to Noodles on Abstract. That makes sense.
Yeah,
Like, do you
so
plan to do like cross-chain interaction or no?
for now, that's for now, no,
Yeah,
for a simple reason. So you know, the thing, I mean, those are real question. The thing is that if you build consumer apps, well, the first thing is I like to I think that you know, when you build apps and consumer apps, you should not care about the chain. So we are not there yet. Of course, you know, for now it's very
yeah,
like liquidity is fragmented between chains. What I expect is that, you know, and what I like with Abstract and Abstract Global Wallet is that in theory anyone can just create with an email an account and could top up with card and then just spend this within the ecosystem. So for now we're only on Abstract. We haven't planned to move on another blockchain. And the thing is, the truth is, we need to have a certain scale before even considering somewhere else, because it doesn't make any sense from a product and expense point of view to try to go on many chains if you don't have
yeah,
100% of the KOL and the people on the first chain you are on. So yeah.
yeah. And again, like the friction from like Solana to Abstract, like it's basically nothing. It's just like a quick swap and stuff. So
Yeah,
uh,
and I mean, as a content creator,
yeah,
I mean, you don't need a lot of money on Abstract to just be on Noodles. You know, I mean, you just need to connect, link your Twitter account, and
yes,
then set a collab price, and then you can start receiving collabs, and that's it. So the idea is to abstract, you know, the maximum the blockchain, because
yeah.
people, for example, the collabs goes on chain. People don't even need to know that it's going
Mm.
on chain. You know, and thanks to session keys with Abstract, you don't even sign every time you do a transaction, which is crazy because you have a Web2 experience.
Yeah. The oath verification when you go from what it's annoying. Like the the 2FA one.
Or
I,
yeah. So I've done it. The thing indeed it's painful, but on the other hand, you know, it's very. If you look at like Web2,
yeah.
if you look at an email, for example,
Mm.
let's say Google email. That's the same. You can have, and that's your choice to just have a password, for example, or connect with 2FA email or
Yeah.
whatever. But you can go much further than this. You can have, you know, you have like the simple 2FA with email. You can have 2FA with Google Authenticator. You
Mm.
can use even a YubiKey
Yeah.
if you want even more like security. And the thing is, Abstract, you know, at the end of the day, we're dealing with direct money.
Mm.
So we need those security because, well, trust me, I've been scammed in the past. I've been drained last year, last year again. But and the thing is, those things go much faster than we think. And even if you know you have good security process, etc. So always the you know the balance between security and all the easy of use, I would say.
And what successful looks like from Noodles and even Abstract, but like yeah, Noodle first. What success looks like? Do you have a KPIs in mind?
Yeah, yeah. I mean, for us, so I think the first step of success would be to get a majority of the collabs done today. First, an abstract
Mm.
goes not with agencies, but within Noodles. That would be the first step. The second step will probably be to open this not only to content creators but to agents.
Mm-hmm.
Because imagine if not only a KOL can accept a post, but imagine if tomorrow IIXBT can autonomously accept and refuse posts and collabs. Then it's getting a bit more interesting because the vision we have with Noodles is not only with the automated marketing agency. We are building a lot into agents, so we do not speak a lot on that yet,
Mhm.
but we will soon. And this will make waves, because what we're building is literally going to change the marketing industry, and not only on the payment side but also on the content creation side. And when we'll bridge and plug the two,
Yeah, no,
that's really
that's
big.
awesome. Like, and even like, yeah, you can imagine like, you can have like AI content creators like fully automated stuff
Yeah,
where
yeah. I mean, we're discussing with the biggest player. We're discussing with people from Elisa West. We're discussing with the guys from Virtuals,
mm,
because everybody is looking in this direction. Like, okay, what can we do? And we need autonomous agents to do autonomous media, autonomous, all those kind of things. And that's one of the best topic. And that's why also it makes sense. And that's a real use case of Web3, to get an agent with a wallet and then making this guy autonomous.
yeah. And as long as the content is good and better than a lot of creators, like AI or not, like it doesn't make sense. As again, as long as you are entertained or educated or both,
Yeah.
okay, let's roll.
Yeah, yeah. And for us, that's just a way to kind of to just the idea is not to replace humans, because I mean we love humans. We can have social interactions way more with humans than with AI. But
Yeah.
the thing is, AI can really, like, if you are a 10x KOL, maybe you will become an 100x KOL with an agent doing even more replies for you, doing even more, I know, content, or whatever. And that's where for us it's very interesting.
Bro, I even think like if the AI can emulate the same relationship that KOL slash audience have together, human or not doesn't matter. As long as like
Yeah,
the
yeah.
audience has the illusion of the same feeling than watching a real human, like
I mean, we have seen that with AIXBT. So
yeah,
majority of agents
yes,
are kind of shitty, to be
yeah,
honest,
yeah.
yet.
We're not here yet, but it's
But
some even
but
shit posting is good.
I mean, numbers on AIXBT do not lie. I mean, if you look at Kato,
Yeah,
fuck. I mean, AIXBT has so much like mindshare
no, exactly.
that's crazy.
Yeah. And again, like people just wants to be entertained and we are living in like an industry of like yeah, engagement farming and shit. So that's what an AI can be really good at, or at least better than a lot of people, that's for sure,
Yeah,
in
yeah, yeah. Agree.
2027. So yeah. And how's the relationship between you and like the abstract team? Like, how's the ecosystem is pushing all of the apps because they need it's like an app store, right? So
Yeah.
they need leading apps to lead the way on abstract. So how does it go?
Yeah, maybe before answering, I would like to have your point of view on this. I mean, tell me what is your feeling about it, and then I will tell you my experience. But I'm very interested to know what is your feeling about. Oh, does Abstract push some apps? If yes,
Mm.
which apps? And yeah,
So for what I see and what I discussed with like Pengzu, who is like a big Pudgy fan and abstract um, f- incoming keywords and stuff. So what I see is like a lot of apps are like, and you mentioned it too, a lot of gambling. So I see abstract going into the direction of like a stake kind of like when you have the streams plus the apps of gambling in every sort and all of the apps are like casino game stuff, um, which for me, if Luca wants to go consumer, it's a bet because you have to bridge crypto native people who are degenerate and like consumer normies people who are kind of like just normal, like they're not all gamblers addict, right? But in the crypto guys there is a lot of addicted people to gambling, that's for sure,
yeah,
like
yeah.
it feels like
I mean, ask my CTO
yeah, like,
opinion.
exactly. But and personally, I don't know if gambling is the right path to mass market because it will not be appealing to my parents, for example. And if we're talking about mass market, that's what I think. So that's where B2B apps comes along, like Noodles comes along. So it makes sense. But yeah, do they are they pushing more gambling apps than more serious stuff? I don't know. is that matching with their own thesis, or is that just a Trojan horse? So based on all of those questions, yeah, I can imagine the relationship you have
So
with
so yeah, so
education.
it's your take is very interesting. So have you seen the paper that Luca made about consumer crypto, the old thesis? If you haven't, I encourage you to, and I encourage the audience to take a look at this one after the live. So it's one of the first paper published on the Abstract blog, and that's a very good one because then you see the vision of Luca, and I think it's the good vision where you need to start within a niche,
Yeah,
and you need to basically expand. And the first thing is, okay, you need to be basically a place where it's fun. And if you talk about consumer and you focus on consumer today, the truth is you don't have a lot of consumer apps.
yeah,
You have gambling and you have gaming. That's the two big one. And you have like social fi, but social fi could be a bit between gambling and
yeah.
speculation. Even us at the end of the day, we're on the speculation side, and we're a mix between speculation and payment.
Mhm.
So that's the thing. So here, what they express is that they start within a niche, which is in this case, gaming,
Yeah.
gambling, and like a few consumer apps like SocialFi. And then once they get a niche audience, then they open up a little bit. So if you look at for the past 2 weeks, 2 or 4 weeks,
Mhm.
they added a little bit of DeFi. They haven't mentioned it too much, but you can stake Ethereum on Abstract now. You have also a lending borrowing platform now on Abstract. You have a bunch of those things, but that's not the priority. So the thing is, what we're seeing is that, and the thing and maybe the issue that many blockchain do is that they try to be everywhere at once. So they try to do and to be the best in payments and stablecoin. Then they try to be the chain of gaming, and then they try to be the chain of gambling, and then they try and at the end of the day they do nothing. And so that's where Abstract try to segment those and go step by step, which I think is very smart. Now to answer your question about do we have some support from Abstract, I would say that for now, compared to other experience I had, coming from Polygon to Base to
Okay.
even Lens, which is not a chain but still very that's an infra, so we can expect also some help. Abstract is the one that helped us the most. That's like that. That's the truth. Now, if we look at my expectation about what they can do with us, I think they could do more, and I think that's especially on the consumer side. You need to push even more apps. And so yeah, I think it's a very good start. I think that you have so many apps, and for them it's very difficult to keep up because when
Yeah,
you have, I don't know, 200-300 apps, you need to sort also between the app that are really doing something interesting,
yeah,
the one that are just here to, okay, then I will just here for a few months before going to mega Ethereum or whatever,
yeah,
whatever new chain. And then you need to avoid scammers, and then with what you just get, you need to push those people, and this is still a lot of companies. That's very difficult from them, I can imagine.
mhm.
But I think they can do even better when pushing apps, but they want to at least.
Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, like, exactly, like, it's like everything, like, you niche down and then you expand when you grow.
Yeah,
That's,
yeah, yeah.
I mean, Luca
Mhm.
has the best execution in all Web3 and crypto for the
so
last few years, so
so yeah, for me, with the few discussion I had with Luca, and Luca as a person really helped us. I
mm,
think that Luca has the right mindset as a founder and has the right vision, and he know very good how you know very well how to build sequence,
yeah,
because when you build a product, it's all about the distribution and the sequence
yes,
of this distribution. And when you look at consumer crypto, you need two things: you need community and you need distribution. And those are two things that those guys proved us that they know how to do it with Pudgy Penguins. Best Web 2 ish Web 3 distribution they have,
100%.
and millions of toys in Walmart and Targets.
Yeah,
So they know that. Now what they can do better is even increase the operational side, and if they have even a better execution on the rest on the operational, I think this can be even better and better. Just better operation could make Abstract like just explode.
yeah. Like, it's almost like on the verge of like going, like, getting really, really big, really, really fast, and it's just like matter of time.
Yeah.
Some comments from, I need like a abstract stream integration on Restream soon enough, but yeah, we're gonna. I need to DM Finn about that. But okay, abstract is not actively building toward that. So that's when I was talking about like gambling and stuff. They are building infrastructure. Of course, they are the majority population here. So gambling is at the forefront for now. That's what we said. Bullish on Maxim takes before pushing more apps. Don't you think some improvement are still to be made on the portal, streaming, and so on?
I mean, the thing is, you can always do improvements, and as a builder, that's a trap for us, meaning that, as a builder, you want to have like to build as fast as possible to test the market and to not like lose money by doing stuff that you think are good, but at the end of the day you will spend money and time to build those, but people will not use that. So I think that you should go as fast as possible, test and just iterate as quickly as possible so you can always do better. I think that they do the right thing by just going out. It's not perfect, even for the launch. When they launch, you didn't have many apps. We could have say, hey, why did they launch? We have like one, few, maybe 10 apps when they launched. But the thing is that by doing that, you get a lot of feedback, and this enables you to go in the right direction. And the right direction is only the direction where people are like are likely to follow. The rest does not matter. What you think, the truth is, you need to have the vision, but on the product side,
No.
the only thing that matters are KPI and what people want. And the best way to have this is to have the direct feedback.
Mm.
And so yeah, that's my take. But of course, you could have like potentially so many features to add, so many things to increase engagement, virality, and that's what we're doing. They made a bunch of improvement on the portal since January. So yeah, that's good.
Yeah. And yeah, about distribution, we are French, so we are really good at engineering and stuff, but we often and too often like suck dick at marketing. So how do you crack distribution for noodles?
Yeah, I mean, that's a very good point. So the thing is, with Noodles, the first thing we did is build virality features in the app, meaning that once you trade, you can share the amount of your trade directly on Twitter. You have the referral code that are very interesting for us. So that is how can we increase virality within the app, and with like simple mechanism. The thing is, when we talk about distribution, the big thing is about marketing. So the thing is, it depends if do you have a lot of
Yeah.
money to spend on marketing or not. In our case, we don't want to spend a lot of money on marketing because most of the time you will be
Yeah.
able to do a pump and dump, but that's it. And that's when having a good partners like Abstract, if they push you, then you get organic people to come, and that's the use of the badges of the spotlight. That's why it's useful. And so for us to ensure that virality features within the app. Then one thing very important is that as the trading is permissionless, this means that, let's say, if today I
Mm.
speculate on your profile, well, when you come on the app and claim your own profile, you will be able to claim the fees from the past trading activities. Meaning that for you, if your community wants you in, you will be incentivized literally to just come on Noodles and just like link your account and get the money from the past trading activities. So that's the thing. And the last part is we're working with KOLs. So at the end of the day, the market, if KOL like the product and want to use it, well,
Mm.
they need to push it because they will be the first to benefit from, well, having a very good payment mechanism to ensure that they will be paid. They will have less fees, meaning that they can either increase the pricing of their posts or either get just more posts because they are cheaper than
Mhm.
compared to marketing agencies. So for them, at the end of the day, it's more business, more transparency, no trust issues, no payment issues, and then so we really count a lot on this to
Nice.
get the distribution.
Okay, okay.
And
I
yeah,
think good synergy between us, like, so we can work in the futures, like, like after the stream, because, I don't
sure.
know if I like told you, but like we use network media stuff. Like I do the content and stuff, and I put like a roster of creators. So I want like some abstract creators in my group chat. So I think we can do something together.
Yeah. Definitely,
Nice, it's cook,
definitely.
man. And okay, no, that's I love it. I love it. It's pretty cool. I can definitely main noodles for business and post opportunities and stuff. It's it's yeah.
Yeah. And look, the post and reply are
Yeah.
just the beginning, because in theory you can ask whatever you want. It
Mm.
could be a follow. Imagine if you can buy your smart
Yeah.
followers on Kato. Imagine, I mean, you can imagine whatever you want. We have a bunch of ideas within the
Mm.
stream, for example. So we can do a bunch of things, and that also depends, and that's why, when we're discussing about the improvements that the company can do, this to move forward, we need to get the
Yes.
feedback from content creators to say, hey,
Yeah.
they want this,
That
okay,
makes sense.
let's build that.
Do you have P&L cards on the app? Like, for example, like Lucas Noodles are going to the moon, and then I'm like 1,000.
Yeah, yeah. So that will be linked only to your own P&L. But yes, if you do
Yes.
some trades, you will get the P&L
Because
card. Yeah.
like I don't know if you like follow like Vector app on Solana, right? Where
No, no, I mean, I know it, but I'm not like a
they
big
took
user.
off the day function made like a P&L card with like a quarter of million P&L on one meme coin. So I don't know if you can do like half a million, a
Yeah, yeah.
quarter of million P&L with like Lucas Noodles.
I mean, yeah, that's that's the thing. All the app
Yeah,
like Photon, Bullix, etc. They do that, and that's when we talk about like
yeah,
virality features, that's typically the type of
100%.
things we're
No,
looking at.
100%. Like that gen gonna degen, right? So no matter what, they need to flex.
Yeah, yeah, exactly.
That's amazing. I really like what you're doing. Okay, and in terms of acquisition, or even like in terms of features, like what are you working on? What's missing on the app? What's coming up?
Yeah, like I was saying, I think the
Okay.
discoverability features is very interesting. So what we were discussing, bringing some data and make you discover more content creators, because as a company, that is okay. I'm an abstract company. I want to know who are the top KOLs on abstract, or even not necessarily the top KOL, but any
My
KOL,
budget
anyone making
or stuff.
content.
Yeah.
Yeah. And because even if maybe I have only 500 followers, but maybe if you pay 100 people with 500 followers, you can get a huge hype. And sometimes the core of a community can be maybe 50, 100 people, and if you get those 100 people posting about you, and even if it's maybe 5, 10, $50 per
Yeah.
per like person, that's very interesting. So discoverability features, that's very good data. And the last part is the about the AI
Yes.
agent marketing I was discussing. So those will come. We don't do like, I mean, yeah, this will come.
That's I'm hyped. I'm hyped. I want to check if Pengzu is on the app right now and if I can buy his shares because he's the upcoming creators on Abstract. So Pengzu, I know you are on the chat on the Abstract app. So okay, so Pengzu, you need to create your bonding curve. I'm dropping it in the chat. We're gonna do that together. It's gonna be nice. But yeah, be the penguins you want to see. See, that's a good abstract creators. It's green and stuff. That's good branding.
Yeah, yeah. We like
Yes.
this color.
Honestly, no, that's amazing. Okay, so yeah, why abstract and not Solana? Do you think you could? Yeah.
Yeah, sure. So the that's a real question, because Solana, when it comes to consumer and execution and operational things, were
Mm.
very, very good. And even with between Base and Solana, we saw so many apps going from Base to Solana. Even time. Do you know
Yeah,
Time.fun?
like yeah, there is some execution.
So did you know that Time.fun first started on Base?
Mm. Yeah.
They and then they did a
Yeah.
relaunch on Solana. So, and that's an example, but you have many other examples where basically
Yeah.
Solana is very good, and that's maybe today Solana one of the best
Mm.
ecosystem for consumer, and they help also a lot of builders, because they have like the super team in
Yeah.
France, in all the country. So that's for me very, very good. The only thing for us is that, well, first of
Mm.
all, I trust Luca, that's the thing. I think that Luca has
Mm.
the vision. And so that's the major bet. Secondly, that's one of the only L2 very different, and because, well, first portal, meaning that's the first chain with a discoverability mechanism within the app, directly integrated. So that's basically an Apple
Yes.
Store of blockchain apps. Then you have the abstract global wallet, which first makes sense because from a product perspective, if you go on an app, well, for us, it decreases by 2 or 3 steps before having someone to do something in your app because it connects. He already has money in the account. He doesn't have to create a new wallet to top up it, etc. So from a product perspective, it makes sense. And the last part is the session keys, where
Yeah.
if you sign those, you don't need to sign anything else. So for those 3 reasons, portal, session keys, and abstract global wallet, make a lot
And
of
there is
sense.
like also a leading position because like the Solana ecosystem is more mature than Abstract, obviously, right? So
Yeah, yeah,
you have like a leader position to take into like the most
yeah,
used
exactly.
apps on Abstract. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. But also it's a risk, because if the chain, I mean, the thing is, I've seen some Web3 people struggling with abstract because it's
Yeah.
very different from
Mm.
like other chains, and that was kind of interesting. So that's that. No, there's always a risk. It's not
Yeah.
like black or white. It's but that's a bet for us, and we think it will be
But
a good one.
for you, like the chain is not that crazy important anyway, because if you have PMF or Abstract, you can have PMF on wherever the fuck you go, right? Solana
Yeah,
or whatever. Like
I mean, eventually people don't have to know
exactly.
on
Yeah,
which chain
exactly.
you are.
Yeah.
At some point,
Is there a
that's yeah.
world when it could be Noodles or like a mobile app and you go directly on your phone to book your
So I mean it's
yeah,
mobile compatible, so
yeah,
it's not like a mobile app with iOS and Android. Like I was saying, we did some
yes,
mobile apps in the past. The truth is that iOS and Apple Store and Play
yeah,
Store are a pain in the ass, especially with crypto. So
yeah, makes
for
sense.
now, well, let's let's
Yeah,
focus on web,
yeah,
but web could be on phone,
nice.
so that's good too.
And what could you learn? What did you learn from like the different execution of social fi that have been executed before? Like, yeah, I'm not gonna name that, but yeah, whatever. You know which one we talk about. Like, what did you learn from? What did they did good, and why did they the majority failed, and what is not gonna happen for Noodles?
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's a very interesting question.
Noodles.
So, if you look at SocialFi, I mean, we don't have a lot of app on SocialFi. Maybe the one that really brought like SocialFi to
Mm,
life was Frentech in 2023, I think.
yeah,
Yeah, I think it was 2023. Well, and so the thing is, it was amazing. The only issue is that for Frentech, they stopped developing the app. They made maybe too much money, or I don't know for any reasons, but they just stopped developing the app, which is, well,
yeah,
I don't really understand. And then the others were like very short-term driven. And that's the main thing we saw. Short-term driven speculation is good, but speculation should be
yeah,
just an entry point. That's a way to attract people. Then what do you do on the utility side? Let's say, if you look at Frentech, you could DM people and create some groups. So eventually you reduce the noise in your DM. The thing is today with Telegram, let's say, try to send
yes,
a message
it's
to Luca
impossible.
on Telegram,
Yeah.
you will have to pay today. So the thing is, yeah. So the thing is, you can already do that with other apps. So I think that the utility part should be
Okay.
very important, and the speculation is good to attract people, and then you need this retention where, okay, what can I do with that in the app? And I believe that just sending a
Mm.
text is not enough, and but having that and link that to true utility, that's where for us it makes a lot of sense, and that's
Okay,
where we
so
want to
for
go.
you, like the DM for big killers, like the DM issues, like having like 1,000 random like DMing garbage, this problem is not a problem anymore.
I think it's not a problem anymore because I think that, and we saw that with Telegram. On Telegram, you can
Yeah.
already do a paywall to, if the guy is not in your
Yes.
contact, people will have to pay. And the thing is, the issue with, for example, Time.fun, I think what they do is interesting is with the
Yeah.
call and meet stuff. For the DM, for me, it's useless because you will look at your DMs where your
Mm.
community is. And the community is not on Time.fun, it's not on Frentech. The community is on Twitter, is on Telegram, and so that's where we need that those big companies that need to solve this issue.
Okay. No, that's definitely interesting.
Yeah, and that's why we don't create content in Noodles. I mean, content. If you look at, the one the Frentech like on Avalanche, the name is I just forget the name. But well, you have an equivalent of
Mhm.
Frentech on Avalanche. Those guys are basically they did a copy paste of Twitter and they do the same as Twitter, but with paid content. But for me, it's not working because
Yeah.
again, the content needs to be where
Yeah.
the users are. So that's a huge
Yeah, no
learning
one.
for
Even
us.
like Thread, with their 1 billion Instagram users, like I don't know anybody using Thread right now.
Yeah, me
Like,
neither.
and everyone is on X or like even Blue Sky. It's another problem, but yeah, whatever. Yeah, no, like that's yeah, no, that's an interesting. Yeah, do you think it's like bottom up or like a top to bottom acquisition? Like, for example, if you crack, do you want to get the market by having a shit ton of small content creators and then it will bring top creators, or it will be aware of like focused on top creators, top KOLs, then they make banks, then they have this bigger distribution, and then you go, yeah, top to bottom.
Yeah, so the best is top to bottom. So the best is if we can have like very big creator that say, hey, look, those guys solve a big issue we have. You should look at that. And now I'm only working with those people to get
Mhm.
content created. That's the best. But I mean, I would say that the because if you do that, then the
Yeah.
other will follow. But I think
Yeah,
the
I
two can work.
just yeah, maybe more expensive.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, it depends.
yeah. Okay, so yeah, I think we can wrap it up soon. Is there anything that any takeaways that you want to the people to remember, or yeah, just yeah, takeaways of the stream for people?
Yeah, I mean, takeaway is that, well, if you want to make money by creating content, you can do it on Noodles. If you're a company, well, you can ask people creating content for you and be paid for it, or just get some paid interactions. And yeah, happy to get any feedback. Follow us on Twitter.
Nice.
And yeah, and thanks for
Awesome.
the
Yeah, yeah.
invite.
So like all of the links are in the description. Sorry, I forgot. I have 1 minute. But like all of the links are in the description. I'm gonna drop them in the chat. Maxime. So yeah, follow Maxime, Tac, Paf, and yeah, Pengzu. Buy some share from Pengzu and mine soon. I will drop. I will make it to it. But yeah, yeah. So thank you so much, Maxime, for your time. That was black. We need to do that again. When
Yeah,
my when
anytime,
my
anytime.
noodles are like worth like 2 ETH, and then yeah, let's do it again.
Yeah, I hope for you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, everyone. Follow Maxime, subscribe to the channel, and yeah, we will see you tonight on the channel. Chat. Bye bye. Where is my video? Bye. Yeah. And that's a wrap. I hope you enjoyed the live stream. We'll see you in the next one. But before that, make sure to subscribe, like, and share